could be smuggled in and mixed with Kalimbi's clean minerals, which would contaminate them.
So the tagging system, it's working. But the way it is working, it needs a lot of improvements. Middleman, everybody's taking the minerals and go store them into their homes. And that's where they are making the transactions. So how are we going to make sure that these guys cannot be attempted to leak in dirty minerals?
International monitors are confident that this isn't happening.
I think we would know if there were large amounts of minerals coming in because we monitor production very closely, and we do have observers at the mine who are checking that, and we haven't had any problems with that so far.
Cazol will take the minerals to sell to a large-scale dealer in the provincial capital. It's where he has some reservations about this project.
Niye kukua tu na soko hiyo moya. Sasa tunakuya kwa wingi, labuda ile mwenye kontwari naye anaona minereni ya mingi, anatia bei yenye anapenda. Kama tunazichukia systeme, hatuichukie sana, tunachukia tu njo soko moya.
Because of this lack of competition, Cazol, like many dealers, is struggling to continue.
Tunianza kuambia kama tulianzaka labuda 18. Leo tunabakia 13. Wenye banabakia tu kumatumaini ya kusema labuda kesho anaweza badilisha tuuzio mzuri. Wala labuda kesho wanaweza sema ingine makontwari zinafunguliwa. Mie binafsi niko nachunga niangalie kama hii mwezi ya 3 itaendelea kihombo mimi naacha. Okay, merci.
The middlemen are not the only ones who are struggling to trade. The miners have been affected too.
Wakati taji ilikuwa yafika, kilo tulikuwa tunaiuzisha ku $7. Kwa leo tunaiuzisha ku $3.
Kabisa na kusumbuka sana na kusema upate negosia atakuuzia kilo moja mu $3 itakuwa ni shida.
The low prices at Kalimbi may be because the projects are still so new and running on a small scale at the moment. On the other side of the lake, well-established markets in Rwanda report tin ore being sold for 3 times the price. It's possible that some minerals may be smuggled across by canoe, but it's a difficult journey. The easier one is the legitimate route, by truck, around the lake to a treatment centre in the regional capital of Bukavu.
But I think the fact that the price is still too low at the mine can be due to the monopoly by this only company that is sourcing. If we had this project expand to 2-3 other mines, even to more, and then have more companies involved, I think we're going to have an exponential rise in the price.
Only one trader has been approved to buy the minerals from Kalimbi mine so far, WMC. It's managed by Edward Kitambale, a seasoned dealer with 20 years' experience. He recognises the pros and cons of this new system.
Donc, c'est beaucoup plus de travail, beaucoup plus de responsabilités aussi, dans le sens d'apaiser tout le monde qui vient après nous dans la chaîne d'approvisionnement.
Jaime and his group are here to see the end of the supply chain. Once again, the cassiterite must be weighed, recorded and given an individual tag before being placed into large drums to be exported. It will be sent to a smelter, where it will be refined into tin that can be used as solder that makes our everyday electronic products work.
A smelter has set up a whole system, and that system is being audited to ensure that all the input materials can be traced back to the mine of origin, so that we know that it's only coming from this mine.
Kitambale has an answer for the middlemen who say they're going out of business because of him.
Le site de Kalimbi, seul site certifié qualifié dans toute la province pour le moment. Donc, conséquence, tout ce qu'il y a comme négociants vont sur le site de Kalimbi. Donc, ils sont là en surnombre par rapport à la quantité qui est produite.
Despite his unique position, Kitambale also says his business has been affected by all the changes at the mine.
Nous ne travaillons pas à notre capacité. Nous travaillons à 25, maximum 30% de notre capacité. Donc, nous ne faisons pas de grosses affaires, non. Nous faisons la petite affaire que Kalimbi nous donne.
De prijs wordt al eerder bepaald, maar hier wordt gewoon puurder gemaakt.
The mines also have their own security forces. As you know, they're very complex economic, social, hierarchical entities.
The success of the project so far has surprised some people.
Conflict-free, this is something we would not imagine in a region like the Kivus. The conflict-free initiative, this is something that is proving to the world that it is possible to source conflict-free from this region. It requires a lot of improvements, of course, but at least that is a starting point.
Kitambale has been in this business for 20 years. He's seen peace and war and frequent instability and insecurity. Yet he's certain of one thing.
La traçabilité, le site pilote de Kalimbi, c'est vraiment une bouée de sauvetage pour la province du Sud Kivu. Vous savez que, au point de vue économique, l'activité agricole est paralysée. Je suis parfaitement convaincu que c'est une solution pour ce problème de guerre ici.
Jaime has been realistic from the start that this project has many challenges.
When I started this, I didn't think it would really work. So I started this thinking, well, let's try, let's see how far we get. I was talking to someone who said, well, you've got a huge political risk as a Dutch government to support such a project because it can totally go wrong. Think of corruption, of security issues, you name it. We have now produced 6 big containers full of cassiterite, which is tin ore, and exported these 6 containers. And actually we can talk about traceable and responsible trade in minerals from Congo. So if I'm overly optimistic, I think I've been driven by some sense of optimism, but we've approached it very pragmatically, step by step, to see how far we could get, and we got much farther than we thought we would.
For miners like Jackson, keeping the Kalimbi mine conflict-free and open is vital to the community's basic survival.
Mine ya Kalimbi kama wanaifunga ewa, c'est-à-dire que wanapenda tu si watu ya huku Kalimbi tukufe na njala juu hakuna ingine matokeo yenye tuko nayo, tuko tuna matokeo tu ya Kalimbi. Kalimbi ndio tunatumainia sie wote. Yule inaweza kuwa msaada wasifunge Kalimbi.
But whether this initiative will spread to Kivu's other mines remains to be seen. Though it's promising, the project here is still in its infancy. For international electronic companies, it has the potential to provide them with conflict-free tin that ticks their commercial boxes and reassures their consumers. For the Kalimbi community, it could provide a lifeline to a better future, the ability to earn a secure livelihood free from the influence of those who've kept this country at war for so long. But Kivu's rich resources have proved such a magnet to the Congo's battling factions in the past that it may take more than this one small initiative to stop these conflicts that have so disfigured the lives of all those who live here.
On the front lines of a fractured society, the Free Syrian Army is fighting house by house, street by street.
They've been digging this trench now for about 2 days.
Units compete for resources, prestige and influence, pledging loyalty in exchange for ammunition. United by a common enemy, but with contrasting visions of the future. People and power brings you unprecedented access. Behind rebel lines, at this time on Al Jazeera.
May on Al Jazeera.
A fascinating new series examining the world's most pressing health issues and cutting-edge medical advances.
After 8 years, Iran chooses a new leader. Al Jazeera will bring you all the latest updates on the Iran election.
The story of what the Palestinians call their catastrophe, revealed in an award-winning documentary series.
A powerful two-part documentary on a conflict that shows no sign of ending. A compelling overview of the West's war in Afghanistan.
60 years on from the first summit of Everest, how has Nepal changed? Al Jazeera explores the costs and benefits of hosting the world's tallest mountain.
May on Al Jazeera.
Dissecting views.
I don't think the violence that we've seen is representative. In the midst of a political process, is that Belfast City is a change city.
Discussion and debate.
So what we are seeing is an absolute reflection of dropping the ball on covering an adequate cohort of children.
Informed opinions.
But the whole problem is that Karzai's government is not stable. He's saying one day one thing and the other day something else.
Get the inside story at this time on Al Jazeera.
It's impossible to underestimate the size and scale of the economic crisis. It's not just about the billions and the trillions of dollars of debt. It's not just about the banks. It's not just about the governments. It's about real people